Hello everyone, welcome to PRPCoding YouTube channel. I am Raveendran Pillai. In this session, I shall explain what is a class in Java. So let's start. A class is a user-defined data type. In Java, there are so many built-in data types. For example, int, float, double, string, and so on. These data types are created by the core Java team. Now, we as a developer, if we want to create our own data types, we go for class. So how to create a class in Java? So the syntax for creating a class in Java is you have to use class name followed by a opening curly bracket and a closing curly bracket. This class is a reserved keyword in Java. The class name is a placeholder here. Here you can give any class name followed by an opening parenthesis and a closing parenthesis. For example, I have created a class named bank account with an opening parenthesis and a closing parenthesis. Okay, so now let me explain this class in a different way. A class has something and it does something. Okay, wait. So what do you mean by that? Let me explain this with an example. Let's take the bank account class as an example. The bank account class has something. It means that it represents the state or characteristics of an object. Bank account class might have attributes like account number, balance, and so on. These are the data members of the class. Similarly, the bank account class does something, means there are functions that define the behavior or actions that an object can perform. A bank account class might do things like deposit, withdraw, check balance, and so on. So, putting it all together, a class is a blueprint that defines what objects of that class have and what they can do. This combination of data and behavior is what makes object-oriented programming so powerful. Okay, we had enough theory. Now let's see all these concepts via code. For that, I am using VS Code. You can use any IDE of your own choice. So let me flip to VS Code. Okay, so now let me create a class named bank account. For that, I'm going to add bank account.java file. Okay, so it will go and create a class named bank account. Now let me add two attributes here, int account number and let's say double balance. Okay, now let me add a function to check the current balance. For that, I will say public void check balance. Okay, and let me add the code here that I can say system.out.println account number is the account number and what is the balance? Balance is this balance. Okay, so now let me go and run this application and see whether everything is working fine. Yeah, so I have opened the VS Code terminal window. So let me go and compile this Java application first. For that, let me run the command java c bank account.java. Okay, so it has successfully compiled. Now let me go and run this bank account Java file. For that, let me run the command java bank account. Immediately you got an error. It says that main method not found in class bank account. Please define the main method as public static void main, which is taking a parameters args of type string array. What do you mean by this? When you try to run this file, the Java virtual machine will go and check if there is a method named main of type static void, which takes an array of string as parameter. In this case, it is not there, and hence it throws an error. So we can say that the entry point of a Java application is the class which has the static void main method, which takes an array of string as parameters. Okay, so in order to resolve this error, we can add a static void main method in the bank account class. So let me add that. So here you can say public static void main, which takes string args as parameter. and here I can say system.out.println, and let me say welcome. Okay, you can give any string. Okay, so now let me go and compile this. You can say Java C bank account dot Java. Okay, and I will say Java bank account. This time here you can see that the error is gone and we are able to see the output welcome in the terminal window. So the error is gone. But from a programming perspective, the responsibility of this bank account class is to perform bank related operations like checking the balance, depositing the amount, withdrawal, and so on. But here we have added the main method as well. So let's not pollute this class with unwanted methods. For that, I'm going to create a separate class named main with a static void main method in it. Okay, so now let me go and remove this static void main method from this bank account class, and let me create a file named main.java. Okay, so it will create a class named main, and let me paste the public static void main method here. Okay, so now our main class is having the static void main method. So this is the entry point of our Java application. Okay. Okay, so now let me go and assign a value to this account number from the main method. Okay, see, for that I will say account number is equal to 12345. Immediately you can see that there is a red squiggly under the account number. If I hover here, you can see that account number cannot be resolved to a variable. The compiler says that I have no idea about this account number. Basically, the compiler checks if there is a variable named account number is present in the main method. So in the main method, there is no variable named account number, and hence an error. But we as a developer knows that there is a variable named account number in the bank account class. Our intention is to assign value to the account number of the bank account class. So we need to inform the main method that there is a class named bank account. For that, we need to create an instance of the bank account class. Okay, wait. So what do you mean by instance of a class? An instance of a class is an actual concrete object created from the blueprint. In Java, we use the new keyword to create an instance. So the syntax for creating an instance of the bank account class is, we will say bank account, then give a variable name. Let me name it as my account is equal to new bank account. When you instantiate a class, you are allocating memory to create a new object with properties and methods defined by that class. In our case, it will allocate memory for the data members and the methods of the bank account class. It makes sense, right? If you want to access something, memory needs to be allocated for that. In Java, there are two data types, primitive and non-primitive data types. Primitive data types are stored in the stack. For example, int, float, double, all these are stored in the stack. And non-primitive data types are stored in the heap. Class is a non-primitive data type, so the object of the class is stored in the heap. This my account variable is termed as a reference variable. This variable is pointing to the memory location of the bank account class. So in order to access the account number, we can use the my account reference variable. So here I can say, sorry, my account dot, and you can see the account number is there. I can say account number is equal to 12345. Similarly, I can say my account dot balance is equal to, let's say, 1000.75. Okay, and now I want to go and invoke this check balance. I want to see the current balance. For that, I will do exactly the same. I will say my account dot I can call the check balance method. So let me remove this line. Okay. So now let me go and run this and check whether everything is working fine as expected. In the terminal window, run the command javac main.java. So this will go and compile the main.java file, and let me go and run this. We'll say java main. And here you can see that the output, welcome, account number is 12345, the balance is 1000.75. So everything is working as expected. Now, let me visually explain how the code is executed and memory is allocated in the stack and heap. As we all know that the entry point of a Java application is the class with the main method. Here in the screenshot here you can see that the class main is having the main method. Here JVM invokes the main method. The main method is loaded in the stack. So here you can see that the main method is loaded in the stack memory. Every method will have its own stack memory allocated. Now, when the control comes to bank account my account is equal to new bank account, first it will allocate memory in the heap. Here I have given a random memory address as 0x110. The memory for the account number and the balance is allocated. If no values are present, then default values are assigned. Default value of int is 0 and for double it is 0.0. Now, the next thing that is going to happen is in the stack, the reference variable will be stored. So here you can see that the my account is stored in the stack memory, and this my account is pointing to the memory address 0x110. Now, when the control comes to my account number is equal to 12345, here you can see that on the right hand side in the heap, the account number is changed to 12345. Now, when the control comes to my account.balance is equal to 1000.75, here you can see that the 1000.75 is updated in the heap memory location. Now, my account.check balance, it is invoking the check balance method of the bank account class. So as I mentioned, every method will have its own stack memory allocated. The moment it calls, the check balance method is allocated in the stack memory. Then it will go and execute the statement inside the check balance. So it will execute account number as account number and balance whatever is the balance. Now when it comes out of the check balance method, the check balance method is removed from the stack memory. Once the control comes out of the main method stack memory is deallocated. Even though the stack memory is cleared, the heap memory remains as such. There is a concept known as garbage collector in Java. It is a background process which checks if there is any referenceless memory available in the heap. In our case, the memory 0x110 is referenceless. So the garbage collector will deallocate this memory. So we have covered the basics of class in Java. If you find this video helpful, then please like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel and stay tuned for the next updates. Thank you.